day 56. So I wanted to come on today, as I'm coming on every day for 365 days. Today I want to talk about a topic. I did speak about it in the very beginning when I started doing the 365 day live. It was a little bit differently said, and so now I'm gonna just switch it up, but still talk about it because I do want to make a note on something. Okay, so big thing. I know I keep moving around. Okay, so the thing that I want to talk about today is why my prices for my one-to-one coaching are not on my website. The words are not on my website. So why? Basically, I removed them because I realized something. I realized that every single person has a different perception when it comes to pricing. And that what one person thinks is expensive or one person thinks is cheap is completely different than the other person. Some people buy differently than others. So you'll have some people who will buy the cheap thing, but even if it falls apart, it's okay. It was cheap. That is their MO. But then what does that cheap actually mean to them? And that price point, it could be $30 or it could be $50 or even it could be $100. It really depends on each person. I know for myself, a $70 pair of jeans, I'm that's a really good price. But for someone else, that might be expensive. And then maybe for someone else, that might be cheap. And so the way that we value things and money and price points is so differently on each individual. And so the reason why I removed them is because I don't desire my clients to judge me based on my price point. I don't desire a client to go on my website and see oh, she charges this amount. Oh, she's expensive. I don't think I'm going to hire her. Or oh, she's charging cheap. Why is she so low? Is she actually really good? I don't know. But this is different people's perceptions, right? And I don't desire to be associated with any of that. I desire for you to get to know me and who I am through my Instagram, through what I share. If you desire to go on my website and have a look on what's on there, feel free. But I want you to get to know me versus my price points. And from there, you decide if this is something that, you want to work with. And then we can definitely cross the bridge of you say, yes, I want to work with you one-on-one. Well, we could cross that bridge and say, okay, what does that look like? Payment plans are available. This is a price point. And then we go from there. Versus getting that pre-existing notion of oh, her prices are this much. She's very expensive. Or, oh, she's cheap. She actually really good. And it's something I've been trying out, and it's basically what I prefer. I prefer someone to reach out to me or have a conversation with me, whether they desire to book a discovery call or just talk in the DMs. I've gotten my last client, that's basically how it happened, slid into the DMs, and it was just hell yes, okay, let's go for it. And so in whichever way the universe decides to bring it to me, I'm open to either or. But I want you to get to know me and not make an assumption on my prices, not make an assumption of who I am based on my prices. Because we do that a lot. Even if you look at big brands, for example. And so there's some brands where you're I will pay the price because I know I'm getting this and this and that. So in terms of customer service, in terms of quality of the product that you're getting, this is what you're getting, and that's why you buy. There's other people that buy because of the name and not so much the quality. And then there's other people that just focus on what they can afford and if it's comfortable and if it looks good. And so everybody has their own perceptions on how they buy and their own way of like doing price. Like there's some people that will never buy something full price and that they'll always buy things on sale. And then there's other people that only buy full price, they don't buy things on sale. If you look at it in the coaching industry, there's some people that never buy early bird and some do. And some only buy early bird. And so you have all these different perceptions of pricing and, you know, like, ooh, it's a deal. Like I'm getting in on that. But it's different perceptions, and what your perception is great. That's you. And I have my perception of what's, you know, like of what is what. But then again, I like looking at all elements and not just the number. And so I like to look at, you know, what experience am I getting out of it? You know, what is my why? Like, why do I desire what I desire? Like, what do I desire to purchase something? Why do I desire to work with this coach? And my why. And it's like more, I look at it more in terms of like, does it light me up? And does this fulfill me? And is this going to expand and grow? Am I going to grow and expand with this? And if it's like a piece of clothing, like, is this going to light me up? Or am I just buying it for the sake of buying it? What is the underlying thing? So that's the way I like to buy. But the way you like to buy is probably like, could be different, or it could be the same thing. And I do sometimes like to shop around. Sometimes I do know what I want. I have a Define J Center, so I'm very much aware of like who I am, and I know which direction I'm going in, and I know what I want. Even when I don't consciously know which direction I'm going in, I subconsciously know. And so very interesting about the Define G Center. And that is from Human Design, if you have no idea what I'm talking about. And so I always know what I want. And I always have that clarity and as to why. And I do check in as to why I want what I want. And sometimes, yes, I need to shop around. Sometimes I need to go like look and see what's out there and be open to different options and different things coming through and be open to receiving. And so that is like kind of, yeah, way I kind of shop around and do things. But you're you as well. And so I wanted to just kind of put it out there, share with you my perception when it comes to pricing and how there's so many people that have different perceptions, and that's okay, because there's no right way to price. There's no wrong way to price. Like if you are an entrepreneur and you're thinking about pricing things, instead of thinking of like so much about the outside world, think about more what's in alignment for you and what feels right for you, versus what the, you know, like what the other people are going to think. And if there is some like inkling that you're not comfortable with your pricing, then that's showcasing maybe you need to go higher or lower depending on what feels right. And sometimes it's okay to start at a certain high price point and then go back and go lower for a bit and then like jump back up. There's no linear way to do things like in terms of running a business. Like running a business is not linear. It never will be linear. You're like all over the map. You're always learning. You're trial and error. Like putting something out there works great, doesn't work great. Like, you know, you just continue seeing what's working, what doesn't work. And so that's kind of like my 2 cents on pricing. And if you do find that sometimes people aren't buying, it's not always necessarily on the price. This is where we look at inner work, and this is where you look at, you know, like if there are people that reached out to you and asked you like, oh, I want to, you know, like I'm interested in this service, and then you say, okay, yeah, like this is how much it is, blah, blah, here's all the details and everything. And then they respond to you in a certain way, and which is a no, but they give you a reason for that no, whether it's like, and they can say like, it's too expensive or I can't afford it. And that's okay that they say that, but pay attention to what they say. So whatever excuse they are giving to you, then start thinking in your life, which areas do you do that? And how do you buy? How do you purchase things? Are you someone who looks for deals? Are you someone who, no matter what, pays it up front? What is your buying way? Like, are you and then also look back at your own services. Like, would you pay this amount, like, yourself for what you offer? And so there's a lot of like questions to ask yourself as to like why someone isn't buying, and it's not always necessarily related to price. Sometimes it is, but a lot of times it's on energetics, and it's on what like energy you're putting out is basically what you're being shown. And so there's a mirroring effect happening. And especially if it's the same answer every single time, if it's the same repetitive pattern, you're getting the no, but it's the same answer every single time. So pay attention to that and look at your life. Like, where are you giving that answer in your life? And that's probably why it's being reflected back to you. And so how can you shift that? And so that's just like a little bit of an example that I like, kind of some of the inner work that I do with my clients is that we look at, the mirroring effect and like the healing in that of like what is being mirrored back to you from the outside world, whether it is in your business so that you can, like grow and elevate you yourself with your business, or whether it is in your actual life. And so sometimes it's not, actually most of the time it has nothing necessarily to do with the actual price or the number of whatever, like the number of things. A number is a number, a price is a price, it's energetics. That is key behind it all. Because you can sell something at a high price point and it can easily sell if you are in alignment in yourself. You can also sell something at a low price point and go through the same thing. But if you're not, if there is some wobbly energy happening where either you don't believe in the price, or you wouldn't spend that yourself, or you're like the way you buy, then that energetic wobbly, no matter which price point you put it at, it's not necessarily always going to work. It may work a few times here, a few times there, but there's an energetic wobble. And people sense that. People feel that. Energetics are very powerful, and people are becoming more and more aware of themselves and tapping into the energies and really feeling the other person when they're talking and why they are saying what they're saying. And sometimes it's not necessarily the words that come out, but more the energy that kind of comes through your business or through your life. So that's my 2 cents for today. I hope you enjoyed this live. If you like this live, please like, share, comment. I appreciate it all of it. And this is day 56. I will see you tomorrow for day 57. Bye.